For sure, KSI regrets not taking the Jake Paul fight. For sure. Like, how could you not? Because in truth, Jake Paul is getting better and better after every fight, as you do. Like, you only get better after doing it for a while now. Because Jake's been boxing for a while now. You only improve. And I feel like KSI is just let Jake Paul get to a level now where Jake Paul is a favorite in beating him. But also, KSI, in my opinion, would have beaten when there was talks after the Jake Paul beat Gib. Say KSI that fought Logan Paul, the second one, versus Jake Paul that fought Anderson Gib. I would have predicted KSI would knock Jake Paul out clean. And after watching yesterday's fight, I still genuinely think KSI has a chance. Obviously, if he comes back and has a couple warm-up fights, I think KSI has a chance of winning. And it'll be a 50-50 fight if he has a couple warm-up fights and he looks good in them warm-up fights. People have been overrating Jake Paul's power, and I was getting caught in the hype. I was like, oh shit, this guy does have power. But yesterday he hit Tyron Woodley clean so many times, and Woodley barely budged. Woodley's no clown, but he ain't no beast either. He's an MMA fighter for a reason. And you can tell in the ring, you could tell that Jake Paul was the better boxer skill-wise, and I think he had more power, Woodley. Woodley had more power. Because Woodley hardly landed, but when he did land, or the one time he did land, he made Jake Paul do that skanky leg dance. Jake Paul won yesterday pretty much clearly. Like, it was no controversial decision, apart from the fact that Tyron Woodley's punch should have counted as a knockdown, because if there was no ropes, and in terms of boxing rules, that should have counted as a knockdown, because if there was no ropes, Jake Paul would be on the floor, and at the end it wouldn't have made much difference, but at least people could say, ah, he got dropped though. He got dropped. Don't forget, Woodley is 40 years old. He's coming off a 4-loss losing streak, so he ain't nothing special. But the positive for this fight for KSI is that now he's pretty much got a lot of footage for Jake, or even Jake Paul's next opponent. There's a lot of footage to go from, because before there was literally like a minute from every fight, or 1 round from every fight. Jake Paul's other fights, there was only one round per fight to look from. But now Jake Paul's next opponent will have 8 rounds from the Woodley fight to look at and see what Jake does well, what he doesn't do well. Like, another thing that people always used to say, Jake Paul's attack, Jake Paul's more aggressive than Logan. Is he? I've been saying it since day one. He isn't. He was literally running the whole fight, just like Logan does. When Woodley was coming in, throwing his hands, Jake Paul would clinch. So yeah, I don't know. He knocked out a couple clowns, a couple bums in Crab Gib, which Crab Gib now is better than that Gib. He got the wrong advice, go down. He got the wrong advice, he lost fair and square. Nate Robinson, he didn't even have a spar. He never sparred in his life. And then everyone knows what happened to him. And Ben Askren, he came looking like me. He came off the couch looking like a tomato. And after the post-fight interview, it kind of surprised me, because it did seem as though Jake, he came back to earth. He's like, oh shit, like, I definitely need to reevaluate my hit list. And I didn't really take the Canelo fight serious anyway, because I don't think he's not that stupid. So I don't think he would have taken that fight anyway. But it's just, Jake thought he was better than what he is, and this fight proved it. Like, he was gassing after 4 rounds. He was running, he was clinching. His chin is alright, but Woodley, I don't think Woodley punches as hard as some people were saying. And also, Woodley was a smaller guy. Woodley isn't a boxer. And there's talks of Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. Like, Tommy Fury is another bum. Tommy Fury is honestly a bum. Like, he's the last person to be talking about opponents when he's fighting Jake Paul's sparring partner and struggling against a guy whose last fight was at 150 pounds. And they moved him up 30 pounds, and Tommy Fury still struggled. He didn't even come close to knocking him out. Honestly, Jake Paul looked better than Tommy Fury. So yeah, I don't really want to ramble on too much. I'll probably make another separate video about Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. But this video is mainly about KSI. He definitely regrets not taking the Jake Paul fight, because back in the day, I feel like KSI would have been a big favourite, a strong favourite, and I would have favoured KSI to knock him out. Now, tide has changed. Now, a lot of people expect Jake Paul to win, and rightly so. So, comment down below your lot's thoughts on the fight. Were you impressed, not impressed? Surprised with anything? Did you think Jake Paul did better than what you expected? Worse? Prediction on KSI, Jake Paul, whoever Jake Paul's gonna fight next. Subscribe for more bollocks and peace.